No, look, we're obviously down a couple of bodies. Tom 𝗗𝗏𝗏𝗏's still not a million miles away, which is great. He's getting there. Joe was still out, so hoping 4 weeks, but we just need to see how it settles and how it. Sorry.
It was an ankle, was it?
Yeah, it was his ankle. I think whatever way the impact on it, it's obviously an ankle issue. So obviously not ideal, but so yeah, he's going to be 3 to 4 weeks. So so that's a big one for us. He's obviously a captain. He's a big leader in the group and one of the best centre backs in the league. So that's going to be a tough one. But you know, we've got Connor there, we've got Luke there, and you know, so I'm quite happy with them. Obviously Rory is due to train tomorrow, so we'll see. Hopefully he gets through that okay. Then makes him available then for Friday. Mason is took a knock last week, so he's due to train tomorrow for the first day as well. So you know, it's you're kind of down to the bare bones. We have to get the boots back out myself, you know. But no, look, it's there's bodies there and there's players there that are more than capable of stepping in when players are out. And you know, I usually pick the team on a Thursday. I'll probably wait until Friday just to see who is actually fit and who's able, and we'll obviously go from there.
I know you weren't happy with the performance last Friday. How's the week been since putting it right again?
Really good, really good. Yeah, it's funny, you know, you have a bad performance and then training has been really, really good. So yeah, it's just now about taking that training levels into games, and you know, some of the attacking stuff in training this week we focused a lot on that, and some of it's been exceptional. So as I said, it's now about going and delivering on a Friday night, and there's no point me and the coaching staff seeing it on a Monday and you know all through the week. It's about now going and delivering on a Friday when it actually matters.
Is that where it just needs to click now? Because remember the Derry up in Derry as well now, you created chances. Yeah. Look, we've had games. I think if people are sitting there and are criticising results and saying poor results and the results aren't good enough, I agree. Yeah, but I think in terms of performances, I think there's a couple of performances that I'm really disappointed with. There's been games where I think we've been really good, and we've not taken opportunities and then being punished for slack defending. So it's marrying it all together, and it's making sure that you're solid defensively and that when the chances come at the other end, you're ruthless and you take them. And I think that's been the biggest problem for us, is that we haven't taken our chances, and then we've let in soft goals and goals of set plays, which you know it's unlike us, and it's very frustrating. So that's, you know, and I think everybody's frustrated, and I get that. I share the same frustrations, and you know that's football. It can change very, very quickly, and I think you know, we've got 2 games this weekend where we can go and put it right, and we can get ourselves back on the coattails, and then going into a kind of bunch of games that are against teams that are there above you and at the top end of the table that you then need to go and try and win as well. So you know, I think teams have shown in the league that if they go and put a little run the games together and get a couple of back-to-back wins, all of a sudden then you find yourself, you know, at the right end of the table, and that's what we need to do. It's as simple as that.
Just hard work on the training ground, John, isn't it? That's the only way, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I think roll the sleeves up, work hard. It's, you know, but again, like, I'm really big on them training well and training right, but it's about going and getting a result on a Friday and making sure that we take what I'm seeing, you know, throughout the week into that game, and that's what it's all about. I think it's I think that's what we need to do. As you rightly say, up in Derry we were very good, we created chances, and then it's them moments that you have to take. It's the moments you have to defend. You have to do that right, and you have to make sure that, you know, this league is massively important when it comes to the first goal. I think you score the first goal, you give yourself a chance, and we've probably found ourselves too often chasing games, and I think it's important that we focus fully on, like we have this week, being an attacking threat, and being ruthless when we get in there.
Yeah, just come back to Joe. How's his head? He obviously had the spell out last year. We obviously knows how difficult it is, how to deal with it, and how to stay patient and come back to them.
Yeah, I think the news, obviously getting injured firstly is not ideal, but I think he obviously feared it was going to probably be longer term. So the fact that it's not as severe as probably first thought. I think 4 weeks, 3-4 weeks is still a long time out in football. There's still a lot of games to be played during that period. But last year when he had that injury, that ruled him out of Europe. He missed Europe, I think, by a couple of weeks, which was devastating for him. They're the games that the lads want to play in and strive for, and so I think the fact that it's not as long term as last year, I think he's probably in a good space. You're looking and thinking he wants to be on the pitch to help. He knows he can help on the pitch, so he doesn't want to miss any games. But that's unfortunately where he finds himself, and he's a strong enough character. I'm sure he'll get through it okay.
There's a big loss, obviously, with the likes of Conor Luke. There is strength in that position still there anyway. Yeah,
and as I said, Tom's not a million miles away. He's probably a couple of weeks away from getting minutes, with the 20s, and then we can. The last thing we want to do is rush Tom back now after him being out for so long and working so hard to get back. So, there is that temptation of, Joe's out, let's throw Tom in, but it's not the right thing to do for Tom. He's been out for a long time, and it's important that when he gets back in, there's no issues with him breaking down. So, so he's, as I said, he's not too far away, which is good. So yeah, no, we're okay. We just need to go and get a couple of results.
You think score a few goals?
100%, yeah. That's the game. That's the game, isn't it? Scoring goals, defending your goal, defending your box. So, yeah, I think we've got creative players in the team. We've got players that, on their day are arguably some of the best in the league. So it's now about showing that. I think consistency is massive. I think if you can be consistent in the league and get results, we're not going to be sat here worrying about results. We're going to be in the right end. So
in the high against Rovers, then it's sort of drift to the bit, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously when you go into that game and you beat Rovers, you then you're looking and going, right, is this us kicking on? And then you back it up with a couple of draws. Again, games that you feel we've had opportunities in. Against Dundalk we had big chances in the game that we don't take, and you come away with a 0-0. I think on any other day you're probably going, right, a 0-0 away in this league, we'll take it. But you want to try and go in and win every game, and I think that game, the chances we had, you felt that we should have got 3 points, and
and then same against Waterford, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, again against Waterford, I thought we started sloppy. We gave away a soft goal from a corner kick, and you then give them something to hang on for. They sit back, they sit deep, they try and counter you, and they've got some real pace in their team, and that's when they go away from home, that's probably their setup, and it played right into their hands, and we couldn't find that second goal. But yeah, we could go through every game, and probably the two that I'm really, really disappointed were Waterford away and last Friday.
Yeah, so Waterford away was probably the worst. Last Friday could have been. We were on top a few times. You didn't punish them.
No, I think last week was the worst, to be honest with you. But we're not going to argue about two defeats. I thought last week was poor. I thought we didn't do enough. I thought even in the first 25-30 minutes where everybody tells me we were good, I still felt we could have done more. I still felt that when we got into the final third, we could have been braver, we could have attacked, we turned out, we took the easy option.
Didn't shoot enough.
Yeah, we didn't take the right options, and we weren't brave enough, and that's ultimately, I think, then you give up a soft goal against a team like that, who are dogged and who will defend their box and who will make it difficult for you. It becomes an even more difficult night, and then second half was very poor.
Slightly different subject. Like last week, the FAI told on us about the academies, and they don't think it's bringing enough through. You probably got the best from it in terms of bringing first team players into the Premier Division side. Where do you see the academy structure in Ireland compared to others? Like you worked in the Hearts one for a while as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I worked with Hearts 20s. Very fortunate to work there. There was some top players coming through there, and they're all a little bit older now and still playing. Most of them still playing, which is great. And but no, look, I think the boys in the academy do a great job. We can only speak for ourselves. Listen, I I don't know what the other clubs are doing academy-wise, and to be honest, I'm not really interested. I'm more interested in what we're doing at Pats, and I think they're doing a good job. We've got plenty of players coming through, some good coaches working with them that are helping them, and we've got plenty of players that hopefully in the next year or so will be ready to go into the first team, and that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to create a pathway for players to come into the first team. As you say, at the moment we've got a 16-year-old leading the line for us in Mason, who's more than capable. He's playing well and he's had opportunities to score. He'll be disappointed that he's not got more goals under his belt this year, but he's getting into the right areas to take chances, and he just needs to now hopefully start converting. You know, he's in there on merit. Obviously Keats is injured, but you know, Mason has been pushing him and has certainly done really well, and there's another couple coming through that are, you know, they're not a million miles away from getting themselves into the first team picture. So no, we're pleased with what's going on here. Other clubs genuinely couldn't care what they're doing now.
One of the slides they put up was how few under-18s maybe are playing full-time. Like, I know you had Sam doing that last year, training full-time.
Yeah.
Is that something that has to change here? Like, you did it yourself?
Yeah, well, I think it helps when you're training full-time, and the likes of Mason, I'll go back to Mason, like he's ready for first team football because he's been training with the group for the last year full-time, you know, and he's training day in, day out up against the likes of Joe Redmond and, you know, these boys. So like, he's getting tested every day. So then, you know when you see some of the stuff he's doing in training and he's doing it against good players, you then know, right, he's ready to go. So it does help. Obviously there's schooling, there's stuff like that comes into it. So yeah, I think it does help when you're in full time.
And John, you know, at the end of the season in England, there'll probably be a number of Irish lads who are being let go by clubs. Will you be on the lookout for?
Yeah, we're on the lookout for players. I don't think we're just signing Irish lads. It's obviously looking at players that can come in and help. I think the biggest thing with recruitment for us is signing players that are better than we already have, and it's going to improve us, going to help us. And we're obviously looking at a number of areas where we feel we need to strengthen, and looking at players that may move on for whatever reason. So yeah, we're obviously looking, but there is a lot of Irish boys, you're right, that are out of contract that could potentially help us, and I'm sure other clubs will be earmarking them as well.